You're watching NTC News, DeKalb County's only television news source, on the campus of Northern Illinois University and from the Northern Television Center. This is NTC News Tonight.
Election day is over, yet not as many ballots were counted like previous years. Good evening, I'm Dan Kenny.
And I'm Desni Norton. Thanks for joining us.
Voting numbers are in for DeKalb County. This midterm election has seen a decline in voters in the last 4 years. According to the county clerk's office, this year saw voting participation at 48%. This is a 3% drop since the 2010 midterm election, though early voting was high this year at about 300 people.
More than 28,000 people voted here in DeKalb County, and nearly 58% of them voted for Bruce Rauner to serve as governor. DeKalb County followed the same pattern as voters in other counties in Illinois, giving Rauner a dramatic win over Pat Quinn. In fact, Republican candidates swept governor's races in several states. One NIU political science professor thinks it says something about who bothered to vote.
I mean, the Democratic Party can take some solace in the fact that voter turnout is much lower in midterm elections, and so that you know, it's not the same group of people that will be voting, for instance, in 2016. You know, that we know that the electorate is more male and more white and older during midterm elections.
We'll have more on election results later in the news.
Another decision here in DeKalb may end badly for the Annie Glidden house. The NIU Foundation owns the historic childhood home of Annie Glidden. They say that an activist group trying to preserve the house can raise its own money, or the foundation will move forward with its plan to tear it down.
We're in business for just one thing. The NIU Foundation only has one goal: to support NIU and its students and faculty. The building isn't part of that.
The foundation doesn't want the house in its current location. They say if anything good has come from the last 2 months of renovations, it's that the roof has finally been replaced.
The Annie Glidden house isn't the only building on campus that needs repairs. Repairs have begun on the stream tunnels that provide heat to many buildings on the campus's east side. Work is going on between Williston Hall, Swin Parson Hall, and Altgeld Hall. The project should be completed before the end of the month.
In city news, a DeKalb woman has won a federal court case against the housing community that she lives in. University Village agrees on a $255,000 settlement after their tenant, Regina Wallace, sued them last year when they failed to meet her disability needs. Wallace, who needs a cane and a wheelchair to move around, asked for a first-floor apartment. She ended up with a third-floor place without elevators and fell twice since living there. Officials say first-floor apartments were available 4 times while she lived there, but managers never offered her the apartment.
If you have been near downtown DeKalb recently, you may have noticed many trees missing along Pearl Street. Shodin Construction owns the property. They're leveling the trees, and by next summer, they plan to level the rundown buildings in the neighborhood. A 2008 plan called for the new bank and 6 other buildings, but so far the bank is the only new structure. The company still thinks the area is good for development, but DeKalb leaders seem to be mixed on how they want to proceed.
Reconstruction of the Sycamore Sports Complex is in the near future for the Sycamore community. Vision 2020 will be in full progress now that Sycamore voters said yes to a tax increase referendum. The property tax will increase to about $555.
And we were committed, but we were committed that we were doing the job of the public, and whatever the public's outcome was where we were going forward. And based on the public, we're excited. This is what we really think Sycamore wants, and we're excited that they agreed with us, and we can't wait to get started on the next step.
The board's first step is to meet with their financial advisors to create a plan for the funding. The actual construction will begin within the next 4 to 6 years.
The entire DeKalb County used to be prairie land.
NTC reporter Kyle Jacobs shows us how volunteers at a local forest reserve are keeping its natural beauty alive.
It's a crisp autumn day riding in the back of a pickup truck in Afton Forest Preserve, where a group of grad students and naturalists will be collecting seeds from the prairie. The seeds, like these greater St. John's wort plants, will be replanted either in this preserve or other local preserves. These seeds will be spread later this season so that they can overwinter.
Require a period of cold damp before they'll germinate. It's a mechanism that keeps them from germinating like this time of the year and then dying because it's a little bitty seedling.
But seeds like the greater St. John's wort and this bottled gentian are only ready for a short while, and this group isn't the only one collecting. Naturalists and botanists will collect these seeds for beneficial reasons, but some will just clear cut a plant and take it away and sell it commercially. Some of these seeds can go for $30 to $600 an ounce. And with some of the plants like this milkweed right along the path, it would be easy for someone to just grab some and throw it in a bag. But Al says this is only a small portion of the visitors.
5% of the people are some kind of a knucklehead who they're out here to steal something or to vandalize, you know.
But most people come to appreciate the natural beauty or do a little fishing. And by picking these seeds and spreading them to other portions of the reserve, the plant life stays diverse and beautiful. And for some plants, they just can't collect seeds.
You can break the root into everywhere there's a bud, you can produce another plant.
And many more seeds will be collected than used. Most will be preserved for next year. From DeKalb, I'm Kyle Jacobs, Ntc News.
Afton Forest Preserve has over 316 acres of native prairie plants.
And miles of hiking paths, as well as an off-leash area for dogs.
I wonder does this mean could people actually go hiking with the weather we've been having?
Brittany Merleau is here to join us now. Tell us, Brittany, has fall made up its mind whether it wants to be warm or be cold? What's going on?
Fall never wants to make up its mind, first of all, and I think it actually has as of tomorrow. So let's take a look at those temperatures that we're expecting tomorrow. We're going to see lower to mid-40s, that scattered showers, and we're going to have gusts up to 35 miles per hour, making that feel even colder. So for more on how cold it's going to get, stick with us.
Election day is over, so what does that mean for you and your pockets? Learn that and more next.
Here at the GED Pep Talk Center, we have pep talkers standing by to get you motivated for your GED diploma. Text the name Terry to 69222 for a sympathetic pep talk.
You show people what you really are.
Or for a gentle pep talk, text the name Deborah.
You know you're going to make people very proud of you.
And if that's not enough, text the name Danny for an extreme pep talk.
Prove everyone wrong. Show them you're the boss.
Get your GED pep talk and find free GED classes. Text the name of the person you want a pep talk from to 69222.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed this wonderful day we had. We saw temperatures reach a high of 61 degrees. That is above our normal. It was beautiful out. I even saw people in shorts today soaking up the sun, and I'm glad they did. Let's take a look at what it looked like. Beautiful skies, people outside, just clear and amazing. Amazing out there today. Now tonight, what's going to happen is this cold front is going to push towards us, bringing in some clouds. We're going to see rain in Wisconsin, snow up in Minnesota. But what's in the future? Tomorrow, when that cold front pushes through to our area, we're going to see temperatures fall, rain in the area, and also possibilities of maybe a few flurries here and there. Nothing too crazy though. It'll be mostly scattered showers. As you look at our future cast right here, the system just pushes in and leaves just as quickly. So hopefully that snow stays north. And we'll just have a couple scattered showers here tomorrow in the area. Here is the big deal that we are talking about next week. The jet stream wants to dip all the way down south here, bringing in that cold, cold air that we saw all too many times last winter. It's going to bring those cold winds, cold temperatures. We're going to see it in the single digits feel like temperatures, and even down south in the deep south, they're going to have below freezing temperatures as well. So we're going to keep an eye on that. But tonight, we're going to have those clouds start to roll in, showers in the morning hours with a low of 42 degrees. Those gusts are going to start to pick up to about 20 miles per hour. So those temperatures are going to start to drop and drop as that cold front pushes through in the early morning. So tomorrow you're going to wake up to some showers, The temperatures are going to continue to fall. We're going to have our high before 10 a.m. because by 10 a.m. we're going to be at 40, and our real feel will be 34 degrees because those gusts are going to be up to 35 miles per hour. It is going to be very cold and chilly out there, so definitely button up, put those gloves on, get those umbrellas out. Tomorrow's going to be one heck of a day, so be prepared for it. Now as we move on to tomorrow night, it's going to be the same thing. The rain will push away, but those gusts are going to be there. We're going to see a low of 27 degrees. It's going to be so cold out there tomorrow night. Now as we move on to my 7-day forecast, that system's pushing through that cold front Thursday. Temperature's going to be falling from 43 down to 40, feel like 34, very breezy. Into the weekend, the temperatures are going to remain pretty constant, lower 40s, with a little chance of rain on Saturday night, nothing too crazy there. The big deal is going to be Monday night into Tuesday when that other cold front pushes through, dropping our temperatures down to a high of 38, possible snow flurries. Nothing should stick, but the roads will be slippery as it's mixing with rain and snow. There'll be black ice out there, so do be careful on Monday night. And as we move into Wednesday, temperatures are going to drop even further down to the high of 29 degrees. Yes, for November, we're finally getting here. It's going to be that cold from here on out. And that's it for weather. Let's send it back to the desk.
Illinois voters make some important changes to the state constitution.
And Senator Dick Durbin makes history. These are today's state lines. Senator Dick Durbin charged to victory Tuesday against Republican challenger Jim Oberweis, becoming the first Democrat in Illinois history to win a 4th term in the U.S. Senate. Durbin pumped more than $10 million into the race, several times more than his opponent Oberweis.
Illinois voters overwhelmingly approved 2 constitutional amendments Tuesday, ensuring that voters aren't illegally discouraged from casting ballots and giving crime victims a larger role in prosecutions. Large majorities also supported increasing the minimum wage and requiring in-state insurance plans to cover birth control.
An Illinois man who forced a plane to make an emergency landing in Omaha last spring has been allowed to return home while awaiting trial. The family of Joshua Suggs says he has had a panic attack, and that's why the pilot made an emergency landing in Omaha. Passengers had said he tried to open the exit door mid-flight.
A Park Ridge man dressed in camouflage clothing was hit by a combine and killed Saturday as he walked along a rural road in Ogle County over the weekend. The 65-year-old man was walking with traffic just after dark near Foreston when he was struck from behind by a combine. And those are today's state lines.
America is glowing red after last night's election.
Meanwhile, in Jerusalem, a man is killed after a terrorist attack. Here's what's happening in today's World Watch.
The Empire State Building is glowing Republican red today. Republicans now control both houses of Congress, most notably the Senate, taking over from the Democrats. That means the newly re-elected Mitch McConnell is in line to be the next Senate Majority Leader. But the job will still be challenging. In the House, where all 435 seats were up for grabs, Republicans retained control and even grabbed some more seats.
The midterm elections have been rough on Democrats, not just here in Illinois. But they did well on one key issue, the higher minimum wage. Voters in Alaska, Arkansas, Nebraska, and South Dakota, all red-leaning states, also approved proposals to raise their state-level minimum wages over the next few years. However, what is bad news for Democrats is good news for Republicans.
Voters in Oregon have approved sweeping pro-marijuana legalization. The law legalizes personal possession, manufacture, and sale of marijuana for people 21 years of age and older. The law follows movements in the state of Washington and also Colorado.
At least one person is dead and more than a dozen injured after a van ran into a group of pedestrians at a train station in Jerusalem. What this camera shot does not show is the driver then getting out of the vehicle and attacking officers with a metal bar. Officers opened fire, killing the man. Police are calling it a terrorist attack. And that's today's World Watch.
Hi everyone, I'm Kyle Jacobs. The Bulls were back at the United Center to face the Orlando Magic last night. They were without Derrick Rose for the second straight game, and Joakim Noah also had to sit out due to an illness. But let's start in the second half, where Nikola Mirtovic fakes the shot, drives the lane, and dishes a nice pass to Pau Gasol for the dunk, putting the Bulls up 4. Later in the quarter, Orlando Tobias Harris gets the pass off the pick and roll and hits the contested layup, keeping the score tight. Fourth quarter now, Kirk Heinrich grabs a loose ball, shoves it to Taj Gibson, and he hits a tough spinning layup to grab the lead back for the Bulls. Late stages of the game now, Heinrich throws a lob pass to Jim Butler, who skies for the pass and hits the lay-in to put the game out of reach for the Magic. Bulls win it 98-90. Let's switch now from hardwood to the ice for our play of the day, which actually comes from our highlight of the Blackhawks game against the Montreal Canadiens. Our play of the day is goalie Carey Price, who makes 2 saves and then needs to swat the puck over the net before it drops down. Not long after, on the power play, a Duncan Keith shot from the point gets redirected by Jonathan Taves for the first goal of the game. Second period, Chris Verstig throws the puck towards the net, and it pinballs around and into the net, giving the Hawks a 2-0 lead. On the third period now, a similar play from Patrick Sharp gets the puck redirected to Brad Richards for the 3-zip lead. Montreal native Corey Crawford had a solid game in the net for the Blackhawks, making the save on Max Pacioretty on his way to shutting out the Canadiens as the Hawks win 5-0. NIU football plays tonight at Ball State, and they're looking to improve their MAC record from 4 to 4-1. That's all we have for sports today. We'll see you all next time.
Find out how harvest time means it's time to take out the wine glasses. You're watching NTC News Tonight.
So, I'm kind of new here, but I've noticed a trend. My human does this funny thing where she goes around and gets all my toys, and then she hides them in that basket by the door. You know, but it's always the same basket, and it's always in the same place. And then she acts so surprised when I find them, but, you know, she's putting them in the same basket again. It's like, hello, that's where you put it last time. You were the worst at hide and go seek.
It's that time of the year when local wineries start their annual harvest.
But one winery is making itself known by using a unique style. Mitchell Brinkman has the story.
Often winemakers raise a glass of wine in celebration of a successful harvest, but here at the Acra Viva winery, they have another reason for making a toast. This year will mark the 5-year anniversary of the winery's opening. Since it first opened, the winery now has 12 tanks used to produce wine and 171 wood barrels for storage. The Acra Viva winery has made a name for itself by their chief winemaker's use of a unique style of winemaking that sets them apart from other local wineries.
My technique is a mix in between Chilean style and French school.
The combination of the styles helps the winery to get the most out of their harvest while not sacrificing the quality of their product. Though the winery takes pride in their use of their unique style, they also pride themselves on the quality of their product and, as such, take special care to observe all aspects of the process. Here you can see the grapevines. Now, they've already been picked for the season, and they've been transferred right across the street to the winery to be made into fine wine. In fact, the winemakers argue that to make their wine stand out, they must raise it as if it were a part of their own family.
How we made it is the same like how you grow up your kids. Kids are kids. You can make professionals or just delinquent. It's up to you as a parent.
With the care that they take in raising their crop and their own unique style of making their wine, the Acra Viva winery looks forward to many more years of doing what they love. This is Mitchell Brinkman, NTC News.
The winery is located in Maple Park and is open Wednesday through Saturday.
Listen, Desni, I never drink wine, but honestly, after watching this, I might want to give it a try.
Well, hopefully we wouldn't have to roll you out on a wheelbarrow.
Just kidding, kids. Drink responsibly.
Well, NTC News Tonight is produced and directed by students here at Northern Illinois University, and we want to thank you all for joining us tonight.
Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll be back at the same time next week. Goodbye, everyone.